Florida Girl Talk, and I have been meaning to do a video like this for a very long time where I just sit down and I'm strictly just talking to you guys. So this is it. This is my first sit down talk video, I think possibly ever. No, I'm sure I've sat down and talked to you guys. I mean, without like bump dates and any of that. I mean, just strictly just talking. So this video, first of all, I'd like to dedicate it to a special person that I only know through Instagram, and her name is Nara Robles. I hope I pronounced that okay. And yeah, Nara is someone that she just touched my heart, and I just want to, again, I want to dedicate this video to you, Nara. Also to anyone out there who needs to hear this. So if you guys notice, based on the title, you already know this is a relationship related video. And so I'm strictly just speaking from personal experience, things that I have gone through. I have been through so much in my life. So much that if I actually sat here and told you guys all the crazy good and bad stories that I have been through my whole life, it would probably take 100 videos. This all started with, I've been wanting to make a video like this, but this particular video, it all started with a post. I made a post on Instagram about how, you know, happy I am with my husband and the crazy way that he and I ended up together. And it just kind of, it did something where Nara commented and so on. So long story short, I want to take a moment and say that what I'm about to say in this next clip coming up has nothing to do with Nara. She is not in an abusive relationship or anything like that. The whole video I'm dedicating to her because there's just little bits and pieces throughout the video that I want her to hear, but this part right here is not about her, so please don't think that she's going through something like that. If you think that you're stuck with someone that's treating you bad, that is just abusive, or whether it's physically or verbally, you're not stuck. I know this video is going to be all over the place, and I don't have it planned out. I don't have any notes, so I'm just speaking from inside. Okay, so when I met Wesley, I actually met him years prior to when we started dating, but he was in another relationship. When we first started like talking, we didn't know we were talking. It's just, I met him through my cousin. My cousin and her ex were living together at the time, and him, my husband, and her ex used to be best friends. So we were always hanging out at the same house. You know, we would have dinners together innocently. I mean, he was already, at this point, he was, you know, separated, going through a divorce. So it wasn't like we were dating or talking, nothing, like no kissing, none of that was involved. We were just simply hanging out at the same home. You know, I was with my cousin and he was with his best friend. We were all just whatever. Probably said that like a million times. I'm sure you guys get the point. So there was no intentions of us being in a relationship or anything. And at that point, I already had 3 kids. Not with him. He had at the time no kids. So I already had 3 kids. You know, I had been through so many relationships. I had been in such scary, abusive type of relationships. I've been in situations where I have been, how do you call that? I don't want to say held hostage because that's probably the wrong word. Basically, like, I'm not going to give details of what ex did what because I don't, you know, people do things and then in some people change. You know, I'm hoping that my exes are not the same anymore at this point in their life. So I don't want to give names and who did what just for the sake of protecting their privacy and their relationships. I don't know. Anyways, I'm all over the place. But the point is, I have been in relationships where, like, this one ex of mine, he changed the doors to where you can only open it with a key, and he would keep this key on him because he knew that I was trying to leave him. And so he literally had me locked in this small little house 24/7, and I could not get away. I'm not going to get into those details. Maybe if you guys request the story of that, I might make a separate video on that, but it is just very graphic and scary and traumatizing that at this point I don't want to get into that type of vibe. So the point is, it was awful, very scary. But I managed to, with the help of his mom, sister, and I was able to escape. I was able to get out and never look back. And I left the state. This was in another state. I never looked back, and till this day I am still traumatized by that. I mean, if I even see someone that kind of looks like him, I have the worst panic attack. Like, I start shaking. I think it's him, and I'm sure it's not. I mean, it's that bad. So you know, that's just one example. I have been I was in another relationship where I sure know how to pick them, guys. Like, I really went for what I shouldn't have gone for. And that was the problem. I kept going for a specific type of guy, and clearly that was not the right choice. But this guy, he literally chased me with a knife. I mean, I was running for my life, and I was running outside in plain daylight. He's still chasing after me. And a man saw me running. He opened his door, grabbed me, and pulled me in and called 911. And that was the last time I ever looked back. And after that, I was in another abusive relationship. He wasn't abusive when we were normal. He just had a problem when he drank. His mom said, don't let him mix clear and dark or it's over, you know, like. And so it only happened a few times when he did mix the drinks, but I just didn't want to live like that, you know. That relationship didn't work out. Again, I have been through detailed more situations that if you guys requested, I may go into like certain experiences, because I know some of you guys can relate with some of those things, and maybe something I say will help you get through whatever it is you're going through. Leave me comments with anything you guys want to know, and I will be more than happy to, you know, reply. I do reply to all the messages, so keep that in mind. Feel free to leave a message. I know you guys can tell I'm getting a little uncomfortable. I mean, this is a very difficult thing for me to talk about. But anyways, the point is, after that last semi-bad relationship, I stayed single. I was seeing somebody, but not official, and that man did not treat me bad at all. He was great. I call him my best friend. But he and I didn't end up working out for each other. Like, he met someone, and that was around the same time that I was hanging out with Wesley. So anyways, yeah, so I stayed single, like I said. And then on the month of December, you know how Facebook sends you reminders? Well, Facebook sent me like a bunch of reminders, and it was messages that I would post, like I was sad, you know, I'm tired of being alone, blah, blah, blah. And I will actually insert a picture of the post that I'm talking about here. Okay, so in that specific post that I made on Facebook, Wesley made a comment. I know you guys saw that, where he put the letter I instead of N, and he was like hinting to me that he was the one, but I didn't see him that way. Like, we were just friends hanging out and whatnot. And I was like, you know, here I am, I've been through all these relationships, I have 3 kids, I'm 30 years old at this point, so I'm thinking, ain't nobody gonna want me. Like, he's not gonna want me. He's just, you know, I didn't catch on to, he was always making little comments, but I didn't catch on because I was like thinking to myself, like, why would he want me? Why me? Like, I'm not worth it. Like, I have 3 kids, I'm 30 years old, I'm like done, like I'm just gonna be single my whole life. Well, on New Year's Eve of 2012, he and I were again hanging out at my cousin's house. He was hanging out with his best friend, I was hanging out with my cousin, and we spent New Year's Eve together. And that night was our first kiss. That night was the night that we were inseparable from that day forward. And till this day, that man has not laid a hand on me. That man is faithful. He is just loyal. He is just... Try not to cry. He was just sent from God. That's the way I see it. My point is, I wasn't gonna cry. I told myself not to cry. It's not easy. My point is, you are worth it. Okay? You are worth it. There is someone for you. Oh my gosh, I can't do this. If you are in a relationship where you are just being abused nonstop every day and you're not happy, you're scared for your life, or the person you're with just treats you like you're nothing, makes you feel like you're garbage, you know, if you're in that relationship, I promise you, you will be fine. Get out. There is someone good for you out there. You are important. You are special. You're beautiful, and you need to know your worth. It don't matter if you have 3, 4, 5, 7 kids. There is someone special out there that is gonna treat you and those kids like they're his own. Wesley treats my girls like they are his. Like, he is involved in everything, whether it's their school, whether it's you know, who they're hanging out with. Like, he is a father to them. I know I'm not the only person that's special in this world that's blessed to have someone. There is someone like that for you. Okay, so get out of whatever hell you're going through and don't look back. So real quick, I'm in the middle of editing. I look like crap because you guys know I was crying earlier. But yeah, I was editing and I forgot. This video goes out to men or women. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't matter. Like, this can go for any kind of relationship situation. Basically, what I'm trying to say, if you're actually trying to get into a new relationship and you're scared, my advice is this. When you're looking for someone to, you know, when you're ready to settle down and you want to be in a relationship, sometimes you have to pick the opposite of your type. What I mean by that is, when I was hanging out with Wesley, I didn't consider him my type. You know what I mean? Like, I was dumb. That was the issue I was having. I was going for a type, and it was not. Shh, baby, hold on. I'm not sure where I left off at. So yeah, you sometimes have to go for the opposite of, like, you know, have you ever heard opposites attract? Sometimes you have to pick the opposite of what you normally would go for when it comes to, like, dating someone. I picked someone who I didn't think would be for me, and he's the most amazing man. You know what I mean? So sometimes you can't stick with your type. You have to step out of that and go look elsewhere. I think that was all that I forgot. I mean, there's quite a few things that I visioned saying in this video in the first place, and while I'm editing, I'm like, oh, I left this out, I left that out. There's gonna be a lot of things that I left out, but I feel that that was an important thing that I needed to add in. Okay, another thing popped up. Like, for example, some men or women have drug-related problems, where, like, drug habits and so on. Like, I know some people that this has personally happened to them. You know, they met their significant other in the club scene and so on, and then years down the road, that person is still, one of the people in the relationship is still in that type of mentality, or they picked up worse habits, and the person gives up and breaks up with them. And then what happens, sometimes they go for that same type and they search in that same place, and the same thing happens again. So my point is, there's red flags when you're trying to get to know somebody. There is red flags if you know they're using drugs and you're against drugs, like I'm against drugs. Then don't be with that person, you know, because you can't change people. You can't change someone. So if drugs, alcohol, whatever, video games, they're gamers. If all of that bothers you when you first get to know them, that's probably a red flag and probably a sign to get out. So that's when you get out, and don't go looking for somebody that's a gamer or a druggie or an alcoholic. I don't know. I'm just throwing things out there as examples of things that people have issues with in relationships. Like, I have had issues with that, with exes in my relationship. You know, I've been through, like, that's one of the reasons why I left. I'm not gonna say who, but I left someone because they were on drugs and I was against it and they wouldn't stop. And yeah, so I learned not to go for somebody that does that specific thing. I'm rambling again, guys. It's late. So I hope I made sense. I say things and later on I'm like, what the heck did I say? But all right, once again, let's get back to the video. Again, my goal is to open your eyes. You know, if you're even, it doesn't even have to be that you're in a bad relationship. Maybe you're single and you're thinking, oh, ain't nobody gonna ever want to be with me. I'm whatever age you think you are, too old. You're not too old. Trust me, I've heard stories, people getting married in their 60s, 70s, okay? It don't matter how old you are. There's someone out there for you. Now, if you want to be single by choice and you're happy and you don't want a relationship, I'm not telling you go out there and look for one. Stay single. If you're happy, that's all that matters. But if you're like tired of being alone, just know there's someone there for you. I know I probably said that like 50 times by now. But yeah, I hope this video made sense. I hope that this helped. I hope that this opened your eyes. I hope that this gave you hope. And let me know in the comments if this helped in any way, and if there's any other topic you guys would like for me to talk about. Trust me, I have been through it all, okay? I have been through, whether it's relationship, life, like I have had one of the craziest lives. Like, when I tell my husband everything I've been through, he's like, wow, you're strong. Because like, I'm telling you, I don't know if I can't even say. I'm speechless. But anyways, all right guys, thank you for hearing me out. Sorry if I got a little emotional there. But yeah, I hope nothing but the best for each and every one of you, and know that I am here. If you need somebody to talk to, just message me. My email is in the description box, so if you rather talk to me privately, you might want to still leave me a comment saying, hey, I emailed you, because I have like so many emails coming through all the time. Sometimes I have a delay to get to my inbox. So yeah, if you leave me if you send me an email, just let me know in the comments. That way I can go ahead and check that out. That is all. I appreciate each and every one of you. Again, if you're new, my name is Kitty, and please subscribe so that you see. I have so many topics that I want to talk to you guys about, so I'm just going to take it little by little and overwhelm you guys with so much. I hope, again, this video made sense, and I will see you guys on the next one.